Welcome to another video of the tutorial series on Resource Modeling Solutions Automated Modeling Platform, AMP. In this session, we'll show how to start a project from scratch, add new resources, and create new visualization scenes. By the end of this video, you'll be able to kick off your own projects in AMP. Starting from the Recent Projects page, let's navigate to Regions. From here, let's access the region we've been working with, AMP Video Tutorials. Let's create a new project here. On the top right-hand side, click on Create Project. Let's give it a name, New STM Workflow Example, and a description, Project for Demonstration. We can check the user permissions and add end user if we want to. Now we can click on Create, and we can see a notification saying the project has been successfully created. We could have created and gone to the project management page right away, clicking on this button. And we could also have created and opened the project right away, clicking here. Instead, let's take the long route and make our way to the Regions page, just so you can get more used to the interface. Click on Regions, then AMP Video Tutorials, and we can see our newly created project right here. We can see all tools as closely inspected in previous video of this tutorial series. Let's click and open our new project by clicking on its name. This takes us straight to the Launcher tab. We can see this project is empty, the folders are not active even, because we don't have any resources yet. So from the Launcher tab, let's create a resource. We'll be uploading blastholes data as our first resource. Let's give it a name, blastholes, and choose the proper resource type, in this case, point data. I have the file locally on my machine. We can quickly inspect it. It contains borehole ID, X and Y and Z, and some assay grade values, and a geology tag. Let's close this for now. We can either drag and drop or navigate to the location through the Select File option. Let's drag and drop. AMP will try and automatically map the metadata depending on how the columns are named in the original file. We can edit the metadata if required, but everything looks good here. So we have the borehole ID, X, Y, and Z coordinates. We don't have from and to information for this dataset. We could also flag values we know are missing values if we wish to do so. We could add a single value here, for example, -99, or multiple values separated by comma. When we're happy with this page, we can click on Save, and the new file will be loaded into AMP. We can close the uploading page now. We can see the spatial data folder in the resources tree is available now, and we can expand it to show our blastholes data. I can double click on it to open it in a table format. And if I click in any column, let's say the copper grade column, for example, I can see some basic statistics for that column. So the quantiles, maximum and minimum values, standard deviation, mean, and the count. This is useful to get that initial knowledge of the data. Let's close this tab for now. To visualize the newly imported data, let's create a scene. We can see a new object called My Scene appeared over here in the scene menu, and we can now simply drag and drop our blastholes onto the scene. We'll take a closer look at visualization tools in the next video, but for now let's expand our resources and then blastholes and color by copper grade. We'll use the default color map in this case and apply a log scaling for better visualization. Let's also update the sphere radius of the points here to 2. Apply those changes to the scene. And if I scroll up on my scene tree, I can show my color bar on the scene. Now let's check an option for loading multiple data types at once. In the Launcher tab, click on the File Uploader. With the File Uploader, we can load multiple data types all at once. Similar to the blastholes CSV file, I have this file saved locally in my machine. So their location doesn't really matter. Let's simply drag and drop all of them together. Here we have a set of Jupyter notebooks containing an RMSP workflow. We have the same blastholes data we've just imported, and some Python scripts containing the project parameters and some utility functions. If you're familiar with RMSP, you might have already come across these types of files and scripts. If you're not, check out the RMSP tutorial video series. I'll drop the link to the series down in the video description below. So here, let's double check all resources types are accurate. Notebooks are flagged as notebooks correctly. Let's remap the blastholes as point data. And the last two files as Python scripts are correct. Let's click on Upload. Now we have the check mark for all files, so everything has been successfully loaded into the project. So we can simply close the file uploader. In the resource tree, we can see we now have two blasthole files. The first one that was brought individually through the Create Resource option, and the second one that was brought in together with the other data types. We can also see another folder has become visible in the tree, the scripts folder. In here, we can see the Python scripts and the Jupyter notebooks. Just out of curiosity, we can visualize the second blasthole data. So let's check our scene again, here in the scene menu, and then let's drag and drop the second blasthole file. Let's change the sphere radius to 2.5, also color by the copper grades with the default color map, and apply log scaling for more clear visualization. Let's apply those changes to the scene. If I move up the scene menu and I toggle the visibility on and off of my second blasthole file, I can see that they're exactly the same, regardless of the loading option. And this concludes this tutorial. In the next video, we'll inspect in detail some tools and options for data visualization. Start practicing with your own data and projects. Contact us at our support if any questions still remain. Thank you for joining us in this session to learn how to create a new project in AMP and add resources to it.